everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post, partner with Walls Furniture and Mattress in Kokomo. My name is Drew Larison. This is MTM. Sir, how are you?
Doing great.
Doing all right?
It's a long time no see.
I know. Well,
we were just here.
I know. We did the show last Friday.
Thanks to Memorial Day.
Yeah. Sorry, that was my computer echoing. Sorry. Yeah, so it's a quick turnaround for another episode, but we're here. We're here for it. Got people. We're live again, so thanks for that.
Yes.
Up top, let me pay some bills real quick with some ad reads. IPT's summer sports season is here, and IPT Screen Printing is the place to go for all your uniform needs. Contact Kyle Fouts at 765-480-3082 for more information. There's a 20-shirt minimum required. Check them out on Facebook. That's IPT Screen Printing, screen printed apparel for any occasion and uniforms for any sport. Mm-hmm. Summer is in full swing at Fun Factory Outlet, Indiana. Fun Factory Outlet, Indiana has customization options to fit the needs of every family. Check out their versatile swing set options and designs that can include picnic tables or multiple climbing options. Different and additional slides, ramps, monkey bars, skylofts are available, as well as any fun accessories like chalkboard paint, bubble panels, or even tic-tac-toe. I'm naturally just saying
tic-tac-toe.
Wow. Give them a call at 765-522-PLAY. Fun Factory Outlet, Indiana is located just south of Crossroads Church on 931 in Kokomo.
Get a play set and you have a summer full of TikTok videos.
All the TikTok videos of parents getting stuck on swing sets and things like that. Yeah. By the way, I see some people are hopping on here already watching. First of all, thanks for joining us. Get ready. If you have any questions for the mayor, leave them in the chat below for the Lexi's Drink Bar and Ask the Mayor segment. Like I said, we just did a show on Friday, so it's a pretty quick turnaround. But last week we did it on Friday because of the holiday. So anybody that's watching this live, if you have any questions, leave them in the chat below, and I'll be able to watch that and pull them over. So how was your weekend?
Great, full. I mean, as soon as we got done with the show Friday morning, it was all hands on deck downtown on the square for the Strawberry Festival and Artsapalooza. Just a beautiful day and groves of people that came out and enjoyed. I think they burned through the strawberries and the shortcake in record time, like over 6,200 servings, I think.
Nuts.
You know, like by 3 or 4 o'clock, if that.
I saw Todd Jordan from Kokomo Toys. He said he had 3. So he himself helped out with that a lot. Yeah, Strawberry Fest was beautiful. Weather was perfect down there. Man. We were down there a little bit. Wes, one of our team members here, he was at the dunk tank. You were also in the dunk tank.
I was in at 3, yeah.
How'd that go? He said, they killed it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, kids love it. I mean, no matter who you go in, and I guess I missed Bobby in there earlier in full, costume gear.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Did he fall in the water?
He was in the water.
Oh, my gosh. Bobby the Bobcat we're talking
Bobby the Bobcat, yeah.
I figured.
And, I figured, okay, and I heard that he was going, maybe, he'd wear the head, and, but no, apparently and I didn't see it, but apparently he got in. There's a picture of him sitting up there, but, yeah, apparently he went in full cat costume.
I love that.
So, yeah.
So Strawberry Fest.
Bobcats, yeah.
Love that downtown event. How many years has that been happening? Do you know?
This is the 24th.
24 years they've been doing the Strawberry Fest. It's crazy. And it used to just be a lunchtime thing, and now they've extended it with First Friday, so that's really nice. Yeah, beautiful weather down there. We did some videos trying some food down there. The Coterie had some delicious food, as well as the Radish, which is the new farmers market store area. Yep. They gave us a whole bunch of stuff to try.
Oh my gosh. We ended up trying literally their whole June menu. It was fantastic. Well, and Adrian and that team over there at the Radish made all the shortcakes for the festival. So
6,000 of them.
Yeah, she said that they baked and baked, open and close on weekends for months to get all of those ready.
Sure.
It was nuts.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Awesome.
So that was fun. Yeah, good weekend.
Yep.
Great weather.
It's
supposed to storm today, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I haven't seen anything yet.
Which is good. So my mom has an exchange student, and she's been having this giant party that they've been planning today, a farewell party, and they were terrified looking at the weather last night. This is the 3rd or 4th time already this summer we've escaped.
I know.
Supposedly big storms. Last night they were saying we could get hail. And then once again, we missed all
nothing. Yeah,
I ain't complaining.
Me neither.
Yeah, jackrabbits are happening. I want all the sunshine and going on. Speaking of sports in general, and Bobby the Bobcat and the dunk tank, Bobcats are moving on.
They
won their first playoff series.
Huge comeback.
If you guys didn't see, we did the Bobcast earlier today with Coach Cliff and Devin Harris, one of the point guards for the team. They are back in Memorial Gym this Thursday night against the Owensboro Thoroughbreds. It should be a great series. We split the series during the season with Owensboro. They won 2, we won 2. But it's crazy.
Be huge.
It should be fun. Back in Memorial Gym. Last week they had to play in Tri-Central High School.
Because of graduation.
Yeah, high school graduation at Kokomo was happening and all the chairs were set up, so they weren't able to do it. Memorial Gym this Thursday at 7:05. Check them out. It's what we got. I want to just, some plugs on my own show type of thing.
Good, do.
We're giving away some things right now. We got a lot of giveaways happening at the Kokomo Post. One, we're giving away $100 in gas.
Sweet.
Every week of the entire summer.
Beautiful.
$100
liquid
every
gold,
week.
Man.
It's like $1,200 in gas we're giving away. Yeah, it almost costs as much as gold right now. So this week we're our partner for that is Community First Bank of Indiana. They're our partner for this week.
Awesome.
So on Wednesday, we'll pick our winner for the first week. And then on immediately after that, we're going to start it again. So like every week of the summer, we're giving away $100 in free gas because I don't know if you've noticed, gas is kind of expensive right now.
A little bit
A lot
expensive.
going on.
Yeah. And people are still out on the roads.
Yeah, I mean, they got places to be, I think I saw today, a few spots in Kokomo were over $5 a gallon, which that's getting back to like 2008 levels where, when that whole thing was going on. But now with inflation, so yeah, it's expensive. So we wanted to give back. So we're giving away $100 every week this summer.
You guys rock.
Like I said, that's $1,200 in gas. We're giving next week. We'll have a new partner for that. So we've got like 4 awesome small businesses and local businesses that have partnered up to give away this money for gas. So,
great.
And then we've also got a giant Father's Day sweepstakes going on right now. Have you seen this? Because
I hadn't yet.
It's kind of nuts. Your family should be entering for this because there's some really cool stuff. Let me pull it up here and I'll go through like the list of everything that we're giving away. It's pretty crazy. Let me find, here we go. All right. So we've got an $80 gift card to Half Moon, 2 rounds of golf with a cart.
Perfect.
By the way, at Wildcat Creek Golf Course, a $70 gift basket to Black Wax Cafe, a product gift basket and $25 gift card to Barlow's Barbershop, a $50 gift card to Soremouth Tackle, which is a cool local fishing
up in the
equipment
old
store.
event center.
Yeah, a candle from Wise Choice Products, $25 gift certificate to City of First Adventure Park, and then a $150 beef bundle from Indiana Beef Company. So if you're grilling out, smoking things, food that is,
and all that you got to do is go to your Facebook page to sign up on the site.
Which I'll put the links maybe in the chat, or maybe you can. Perfect. I know you have it pulled over there. The gas one is the kokomopost.com/gas. Real easy. Real easy to remember. And the Father's Day one is kokomopost.com/fathers-day-2022. I think is what that one is.
That one's longer.
It is longer. That's fine. Should have just been kokomopost.com/dad or something like that. But it's too late for that now. Yeah, so we're giving away a lot of stuff.
Yeah, thanks to all those folks who helped make it possible.
Yeah, so many. And that always blows our mind. So we like doing like these mega sweepstakes. We have for a long time. We like doing them. People kind of, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot of stuff. And I love when people come pick up all the prizes and like their eyes just like double in size when they see what actually we're giving away. And it's like, it's all for one person. So these prize packages they're huge. So I don't know. It's fun. So if you want $100 in free gas, go to kokomopost.com/gas. And if you're looking for maybe an easy Father's Day present, make sure to go to kokomopost.com/fathers-day-2022. Those links are now in the chat, so you guys can see that.
Got it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Tell me what's going on at City Hall this week.
What's going on at City Hall this week? We're trying to work through some additional road projects. Everybody's seeing that pop up. We're finishing up, working with EMB, finishing up Markland Avenue as we begin to start on Park Avenue there in front of Kokomo Beach. Came across some surprises. With some of the work that needs to be done because we're doing full reconstruction there on Park in front of the beach. Looking at the sewer infrastructure underneath, and as they dug, they found an old sanitation sewer system that nobody knew about.
It was just sitting there.
Yeah, just sitting down there.
Wow.
I know.
Time capsule.
And it's too old to repurpose and use. We were hoping maybe there was an opportunity, but thought and I kind of jokingly threw this out this morning. I mean, how cool would it be if there were like the catacombs, if we had, like a tunnel tour of Kokomo, and
I have said this literally forever because there are so many like creepy, weird tunnels. I think I told
really
you.
Didn't even know exist. Yeah.
Well, back when I worked at the Y, there were all of these like underground.
Once they connected all the stuff downtown.
They connected things downtown, but there was like an old. It was a bowling alley. I think it was a bowling alley for a portion of time, but it was also like a gun range. Underneath
Union Street. Yeah.
And like all of it is. I mean, like.
How cool would that be?
Creep.
And of course, I threw out, like an underground ninja course, and Jordan, in her wisdom, she's like, "Oh yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles."
There you go.
I was like, obviously,
have a pizza shop down there.
Pizza.
Underground pizza shop.
There we go. Underground pizza shop with the turtle ninja course.
You're not the mayor we deserve.
There once was
like who cut. Yes,
good.
That can be.
Where the Treasure Mart on Vale is. There used to be an underground. So like that whole block used to be owned by the same factory.
Yeah.
Like whoever used to be where they're building the Treasure Mart is. There was like 3 more of those, and they owned that whole block just for factories. And there were tunnels that connected every single one of those factories at one time too.
There you go.
Because that's why I learned this. I learned this when we were doing some ghost hunt research. And because the original Treasure Mart is supposed to be very haunted. And I talked to like 3 or 4 people that said they had an experience at that location. So
nice.
But there used to be tunnels there, and then that's where they think some of the ghosts are. They're like just hanging out in the tunnels in there. And
so there we go. There may be. I don't know. This could be a fun little adventure to see where tunnels are located and what might be considered to repurpose. Let's find something
so that's
fun
real?
underground.
That could happen?
I don't know. Never say never.
I guess you're right.
Never say
could
never.
you do
it feels like structurally not sound though.
You could. I don't know. You could make it.
You could make it structurally. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's like a subway.
Ninja Turtles, Aaron. That could be really cool. Anyway, so what else is
you love a Ninja Turtle, Drew.
I do. Is that something I'm passionate about?
It is. You've told several Ninja Turtle stories on this show before.
Is that real?
Yeah. You talked about you had a Ninja Turtle prank on someone. You had a Ninja Turtle prank on someone online. It was.
Oh yeah, I remember that person who. They posted something on Kokomo Garage Sales, and I trolled them because I said how much for the turtle or something like that.
Yeah, you had convinced this woman that you had a Ninja Turtle, like a museum in your house.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's one of my finest moments, I think. Yeah, that's really good.
Too fun. Well, outside of that, Kokomo Beach is open and operational.
Whoop, whoop.
Still trying to get some seasonal spots filled. We're still struggling, like every other industry and businesses, getting people to work. And so I know that a lot of the efforts of the Parks Department are focused on the main ones, and there's outlying or subsidiary areas. I mean, like our dog parks and such that can use some maintenance, and it is just a staffing thing, trying to divide and conquer and get bodies and resources where they need to. So if anybody's watching or knows anybody that's 16 and older, because they need to be able to drive to get to some of these sites or take equipment to it, we'd love to have you on board for the summer. So cityofkokomo.org is the website, or stop up at either the Parks Department or Human Resources on the 3rd floor of City Hall, and spend some time with us. Could really use some help.
So last week we talked a lot about the Samsung announcement and the big investment into Kokomo, and how potentially it's 1,400 jobs. I could go down the rabbit hole quite a bit here, where what can happen with the job issues that we have just nationwide right now, but of course in Kokomo as well. Like 14, that's a lot of jobs. I mean, we're trying to find some 16-year-olds to work at Kokomo Beach. What is City Hall doing already to maybe help plan for getting qualified workers to work at this Samsung plant? Because I know we're 2.5 years off, but I mean, with how bad it is right now in some industries, what do we do to combat that? Or what's the plan for that?
Fortunately, there's, by the grace of God, really, I mean, there was the plans were already in place. I mean, with the city and county's contributions to Ivy Tech when they renovated the campus there and took part in that $40 million renovation, and then just recently both city and county investing in the Industry 4.0 lab. Those investments hopefully will spark additional interest, not only from high school students here in the Kokomo and Howard County area to consider Ivy Tech as an option and be part of that, but also to allow those courses or those opportunities for the non-traditional students that may want to stick in the workforce or need to transition from one to the other or get back in the game. A lot of times, you've got men or women who have been home with kids and are ready for the next phase of employment, and here's an opportunity there, being on the cutting edge with battery manufacturing and the electric vehicles, but then it also continue to work on amenities here, for quality of life to entice folks to look to Kokomo and Howard County to move and live and raise their family for those opportunities. So plans in place, working with the developer or the contractor now to look at housing for the workers that are going to come in, but then really, again, with other developers for housing, additional sections for existing subdivisions, new housing developments, and just kind of laying the groundwork and starting the discussions to try and scramble and get some living available for those that may want to come in and be closer to their jobs.
Yeah. What interesting thing I could see happening is potentially some people that are currently employed at Chrysler maybe going over to that Samsung spot too, and like those two companies, even though they're partnered on all of this, they might be battling for jobs and, especially with people that currently live here. Yeah. That could be really interesting to see. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, we're 2.5 years off, which who knows in 2.5 years what, an economy could look like, or even a job market could look like. Probably in January of 2020, we thought we had a pretty good idea of where things were going and what they could look like. So you just never know.
Right.
But I don't know. It's something you probably can't think too much of, but at the same time, it's a private investment. It's a private company coming in here. They probably have some sort of plan to fill those positions, or they wouldn't be investing everything they're investing.
And really, it's a regional thing. It's, right now, there's a large percentage of employees at Stellantis that do live outside of Kokomo or Howard County and commute in and such. So, it wouldn't surprise me if there's still a lot of those that will migrate in, from the surrounding counties, and might even get some that moving in from out of state. With this being Samsung SDI's first battery plant in the continental United States, it just makes sense that people may want to be here. It's going to
attract, and so like I was saying too, be ready. All those like sub niche industry type of things that I can guarantee are coming as well. Those are going to be jobs as well, you know? So it's the city's job, I think, to make it an attractive place to live, to where it's not just that job bringing someone here, but it's all the other things that make Kokomo great in general. But it'll be really interesting to see how that turns out. And in 2.5 years, roughly probably around 2 years, when they really start hiring and getting that ramped up, what it will look like. So, okay. Is that everything going on at City Hall?
As far as I know, yep.
Okay, as far as you know.
As far as I know.
All right, so let's get into the meat and taters of this show, which is the Lexi's Drink Barn Ask the Mayor segment. So if you're watching this live, like I said, leave your question in the chat below. I've been pulling them over to my spreadsheet so I can keep them organized and everything like that. But shout out to Lexi's Drink Barn for being the partner for this section of the show. We really appreciate them. If you are a Fountain Coke lover, make sure you go check out Lexi's. They have 2 convenient locations on North Washington and on Markland as well. Good food, good summer food, and I think I can finally say they're getting soft serve ice cream.
Oh,
so specifically the location on Markland.
Perfect timing.
They're going to try it out there. So go try their ice cream, and I'm going to say it's going to be a unique ice cream like that I don't think Kokomo has.
Nice
as well, like the way it's going to be created and
again, there's some work going on through there, but you can still they've made it accessible to get in and out as easily as possible.
100%. So shout out to Lexi's for being the sponsor for this segment. Let's get right into it. The first question is from Bob on Facebook. I'm wanting to know if now that the gas lines are in and all the inconveniences we went through, will we see our alleys paved in the UCT area? We were told that things would go back as they were, found, or better. They're not, and some folks have had damage that's not been addressed. The grass they planted was terrible, more weeds than grass. If you say nothing to these people, then they assume all is well. Please do right by us, the people. Bob on Facebook.
Give us addresses of specific areas because we are a little at odds, if you will, of differing opinion on how things needed to be restored after the work was done, and we are in constant communication and discussions with the individuals at NIPSCO, and I know there was some work done by Indiana American Water as well, but yeah, with the amount of work that was done throughout the community for the gas lines, if there still are issues or areas of concern, please email those to us. You can send it to me, mayor@cityofkokomo.org, so that we can include those areas on the list when we sit down in these continued discussions with the utility provider.
So when NIPSCO is doing this construction, or Indiana American Water, or what is it called? Indiana
American Water.
American Water. Are they the ones actually doing the construction, or are they like subbing it out to another company?
They are subbing it out.
So that makes it even more. You're not really just dealing with one company,
right? And that was part of the issue, as I understand it, with this last phase, that there was, one outfit doing the gas line replacement, one doing the cleanup, and then one doing the restoration, and that the restoration company.
Took their time.
Was taking their time, and kind of at odds with NIPSCO and such, and so they had gone through a few. So yes, they are to restore the areas that are disturbed, but they are required to do so according to the city standards and expectations as directed by the city engineer's office, and therein lies where some of the struggle and I guess disagreements lie. So
gotcha.
We're working through them.
Working on it, Bob. I'm, follow up with that later. Next question is from Heidi on Facebook. Is there any way the railroad tracks on Hoffer and Home can be fixed? They are extremely uneven and it's dangerous to cars.
Yes, we can, again, because that rail line is privately owned by a company, then, it would be our desire, and I think we've addressed it in other areas as well, to either have permission to do work or impose upon them to do it. So I know that particular intersection of rail is on our radar, and so I will follow up and make sure that it's imposed upon them, and see if they would allow the city just to do some of the addressing on their behalf. Are there actually any active railroads?
That was my
in
question
Kokomo?
too.
Yes, there are.
I can't think the last time I saw a train.
There's one that comes in the north from the northwest and into the north side. They're up by St. Patrick's and right? Davis Road. Yeah. So there's that line that comes in. But
Hoffer and Home is potentially, could be an active line. Just because the owner of the line hasn't relinquished that to the city, and still, I know there hasn't been a lot of, but it depends on who you ask, could be considered an active line. So even though there aren't trains rolling on some of those, and some of the areas, are either paved over or impassable, they're still retained by the railroad companies in the event they need it. It's really interesting.
So I'm hearing you say in the event they need it, they could use a railway that has been paved over?
They would require us to
unpave
to restore. It's kind of like the utility to restore the rail line, or pay to have that crossing restored to its.
What's that process like? What's the process from a decommissioned rail line to it becoming like the property of the city or the property of the like, what happens? So,
it would almost be like it's like a deed transfer. So the railroad company would basically have a survey or legal description of the rail line done and put it in deed form, and then they would then transfer that particular rail line to the city.
That's what happened in North Buckeye, city? Right?
Yeah, or whoever.
North Buckeye, that's what happened, right? Those rail lines up there. Didn't the city get that after,
like in the depot district?
The depot district. And
no, this.
Like that?
I mean, part of it's the city and part of it's not.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Also, like the real estate owning of a railroad is really fascinating too. I've never thought about that before.
Yeah.
But that all becomes city property rather than the property of the adjoining, the adjacent properties?
Or an agreement. I mean, so like a lot of the line that the trail now runs on, I mean, is basically an easement granted by the rail company or for access for use of that. But there is a legal document that would then identify who's actually responsible for or who has permitted access to it.
Sorry, that doesn't at all answer Heidi's question. I was just curious,
that's fine. I never thought about that.
What happens with things like that?
So, long answer short, yes, Heidi, that's on our radar, and we know that. I mean, we're going to be doing some work to Hoffer Street. That's been slated and pushed aside or I guess bumped down the list for 3 or 4 years now. But although work's been done at that intersection, I know there's an issue with left turn lanes, kind of like at Jefferson and Washington, that we're going to address. Also, that would be some attention given there.
This is also not in relation to Heidi's question, but sparked by it. This is a train-related squirrel moment that I am having. I saw a blog someplace. Here, I'll turn my camera on. Hey, I saw a blog someplace, not maintained by anyone in Kokomo, but it was like abandoned places in Kokomo, and it said that there is an abandoned train somewhere in Kokomo that's just chilling. Like chilling, looking like 1983. And there were photos from this from that blog. It did not say. It just said Kokomo, Indiana.
You know where it's at.
You know where it's at. You're not going to tell us, but. What happens then? Who, like the railway surely owns that train. How do you get a train out of?
Or is it an abandoned, you abandon your car on the side of a highway?
Kinda. It's kind of odd because I know where you're talking about. We've looked into it.
I want a train.
And so the line upon which it sits is owned by a rail company. It's a railroad company. But the train itself actually belongs to the now defunct Indiana Railroad Museum, and so we're trying to find out if they would get. I mean, if there's some holding now. I mean, I'm not sure who the Railroad Museum went to or what organization. But if it's just sitting there, if it goes back to them, because I know the mayor of Union City was down and saw that same picture that was posted out there, and he goes, "Hey, if you got an extra rail car just sitting around, we'd love to put one, as a welcome center in downtown Union City, because, so." Ironically, we're looking into it. I mean, just at the tail end of last week, we're trying to get a little history behind it to see who has it, and what we might be able to do to play with it.
Into a restaurant. Remember in Peru where there was the sighting and they made a railroad car into a restaurant?
Because I believe this was the car that was used a few years back as the Polar Express between here and Logansport.
Interesting.
So,
hey, well, I don't want us to derail too much here.
Early dad joke by Drew. Yay.
All right. Next question is from Pam on Facebook. The completed construction on the north side of Markland looks great. Is there any estimate of when that project will be finished?
Hopefully by July.
The end of July, beginning of July, middle of July?
Beginning to middle of July.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it is looking nice. That's right. Next question is from Michael on Facebook. There have been a lot of great improvements in the city for pedestrians going on. I would love to be able to walk or bike from one side of the city to the other one day. Are there any plans for cycling lanes and paths for better transportation, not just leisure?
Besides the trails?
I'm guessing so.
I know there are dedicated bike paths along a number of the streets where there's not a trail. There might be a sidewalk, but like on West Carter and Boulevard, I mean, there's snaking through along Webster out towards Jackson Morrow. So I mean, and although they're painted on the streets, there are those, but otherwise, I mean, our network of trails, north and south and east and west, I know we're trying to get a little further west across Markland out to across Dixon to Deffenbaugh. But again, go back to the rail line. I mean, the city owns the rail line up to Deffenbaugh as it crosses just across Dixon. But from that point on into Frankfort, it's owned by the railroad company. Yes, there's always the hopes of opportunities with the existing, using the existing railroad corridors for trail extensions or expansion. It's just you're playing the waiting game and the negotiating game with the railroad company, because it's not as, they don't just want to turn it over. They're like, okay, well, we'll turn it over, just show us the money. And a lot of times the decimal's in the wrong place.
Usually that's pretty common. Yeah. I know we have a lot of trails that go north-south. Have we ever thought about trails like west and east? Or are there some that I just don't know about?
I mean, it's not as extensive east and west, and a lot of it because the trails typically tend to follow the rail line. But I know now the existing trail kind of south, and as it's heading east, ends just across Dixon. As you go kind of down behind what used to be Damon's, but it's the Gyros and the Mexican restaurant. I forget the
Los Amigos.
Los Amigos, yeah. So it goes under the bridge and it kind of stops there. But again, railroad company owns the line from 931 southeast. I know it doesn't go east and west, but yes, always looking for opportunities to go either direction, but more times than not, because it's an easement or accessibility type of issue. I mean, if you identify a particular route and it doesn't follow a rail line, which typically is a little easier to map out, then you've got to work with all the property owners to try and get a trail through. And a lot of times folks are a little leery about trails running through backyards and such. So.
Yeah. Gotcha. Next question is from Wes on Facebook. For recent college grads who might be interested in city government / politics, what would you suggest they do to get started down that road?
Good question.
That's a great question. There's always a handful of other opportunities. I mean, on boards, committees, commissions, and such, where either myself, city council, the commissioners, the county council have appointments to, whether it's park board, whether it's planning commission, alcohol and beverage commission. There's a handful of boards and such on both city and county. That would be the best. Even getting involved with local organizations and nonprofits. I mean, it's a good way to start getting involved in the community, not necessarily just recognition and networking, but to better understand everything that goes on in the community and its needs and such, and sharing ideas with those that are already involved. But then getting involved that way, and then getting to the point that you're comfortable just throwing your hat in. So, gotcha. I mean, that's kind of the path I took. When I moved back to town in '98, then Mayor Troball assigned me to the exploratory committee when we looked at Kokomo Beach, because it was still the seashore at the time. And so I did that, and then next thing, I worked my way on the city planning commission, and then alcohol and beverage commission, and then ended up running for commissioner, and with commissioner was on a handful of boards, but with those we have appointments to various boards. So reach out to any elected official that you know, express your interest in getting involved, and in the meantime start working on nonprofits and other organizations, even within the church or other civic organizations. I mean, just to get networked and known.
Well, I think there's something really fascinating that happens when you kind of peel back that curtain and see, like, how does, a community like ours, how does it work? How do, I mean, I spent a lot of time in nonprofit too. So, like, how do those things, work in partnership with the city? How does the city work in partnership with the county? It's really fascinating. And I think there's something that happens to you when you really start to see that, like, on your own. I totally agree. But for me, it's been really, really interesting to, like, watch and see how do normal people come together to, like, make a community.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I think you will aid in criticism as well, because there's a lot of people that it's easy to sit back and criticize and
You'll
just
aid in it, or
aid in helping it, I guess, is what or to reduce it, aiding
there we go.
Aid in
reducing
curbing it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that don't know what it takes or what it's like actually running, a city, but they're very quick to think they do, and with that comes a lot of criticism, and it's just I don't know, it's not like aggressive, but like just ignorance to what it actually takes to run it.
Well, that's like the most
not
dangerous
ignorance in a negative kind of
just
it's just
but it's just how hard could it be? Those words from sort of the I don't want to say the cheap seats, but just from outside looking in, everything always seems like how hard could it be until you get in the middle of it and really see.
Right. Yeah, and like and there's little things you can do if you're just interested in how it works and how it runs. I mean, show up to debates, when it's election time, and
city council meetings,
city council meetings,
and any public
things
meetings.
like that. Because there is a large, it really is. It's an education to know how a city works or how just a government works in general.
But I think there's a knowledge gap between to say show up to public meetings. I also think I don't know that the average person knows where to find where are public meetings and when, right? So I think there is some gap. There's some, not intentionally, because they're public meetings. They're literally publicized for people to be able to come to. But I think there's that education gap, and where do I find that? How do I even know when a commissioner's meeting is, right?
Yeah. I think one of the quickest things people learn is majority of the time it's not that exciting of things.
Right. Yeah.
You can go to all the city council meetings you would like, but majority of the time there's not fireworks going on or some lively debate about something.
But along those lines, if you're there, really elected officials need to be accessible, and they need to hear from their constituents, which is what I tell people, my phone's always on, my door's always open, and you can make an appointment to come in and talk. And there's a lot of times I may not get back with somebody right away, but try to get an answer. But I'm sure that whether it's city councilman, commissioner, county councilman, myself, chief of police, fire chief, anybody that had planning commission director, anybody that has questions concerning some aspect of local government or a nonprofit or something, would be more than happy to sit down and try and answer any questions and share the stories. To give a little bit of insight on what's going on.
Well, I think it's part of the reason you probably do this show. You take time out
I love
every
that
week.
You guys allow this. Yeah,
so that there's a direct line with folks who maybe couldn't come to those public meetings who get to ask questions and voice their concerns.
Yep.
Now live, or you can watch it later. Yeah. Now, I will say, if you're interested in running for office and specifically would label yourself as a Republican, we never talked about this. There is an election happening.
A caucus,
for happening for District 1 for City Council, because Councilman, how did I not bring this up? It's a crazy story to me. Councilman Jason Accord, who ran back in 19. Same election you won. And he ran for District 1. He beat out Mike Wyant, who had been, 17 years or something like that? Yeah. Mr. Weak Air is what I like to call that man. Turns out he didn't live in District 1.
He lived across the street. So Locke Street, where he lives.
Oh my!
It's the craziest thing.
They looked at the address like, oh yeah, Locke. And the whole odd on this side and even on this side. I think it was just an oversight, thinking, okay, yeah, you're fine, because he also owns additional land and property within District 1. And so I think, that's where, I guess, either oversight or assumption was, and because it was Locke Street, just filed it and moved on down the road.
It's just crazy. How many people does that go through? All right, let's do a government lesson. So someone applies to run for city council, right? Yes. Where do they do that? At City Hall?
At the clerk's office.
The clerk's office.
So typically, if somebody's interested, they are encouraged to reach out to their respective party chair, either the Democrat Party chair, and if you're independent or libertarian or such,
sure.
But you can contact the clerk's office, and they've got maps there, and they can, pull up your address and see where you live. But, contact the party chair just to indicate an intent, and, you get some advice and direction and such.
Sure.
And then file at the clerk's office. And then once you're filed at the clerk's office, as I understand it, the respective parties then can have the legal opportunity to review the filings and challenge any filings from members from the opposite party. So, but
it got through.
It just trusted the process, and neither party really checked
to me, he won by like 6 votes.
Yeah,
it was
it was like 10.
Yeah, like crazy close election. And the thing that broke my heart as a Kokomoan, there was an article, I think the Kokomo Lantern they were first people to break this story, and they got Mike Wyan a quote saying like, who knows, I might have kept doing We Care Park if I would have won that election. And like my heart
have moved.
I'm like, we can still have We Care Park. And it like Bree, who's like Miss We Care, just huge We Care fan. I like broke the news to her and she died a little bit inside when she it could still be happening. But this is a crazy story to me because how many hands or eyeballs that had to go through and like literally just the other side of the street.
Yeah.
You just don't see that. Is there any news on that caucus? Do we know who's going to be listed or going?
No, they're still receiving
soon. It's in June.
It's June 16th. 13th. June 13th.
Less than 2 weeks away.
So individuals who reside in District 1, it can't just be anybody throughout the city because it's not at large.
Is that why Mike can't run again, or what?
Because he moved.
Because he moved.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh man, what a world! That story broke in my mind.
So interested individuals who reside in District 1 would need to give their intent to Jennifer Jack, who's the Republican Party chair, by June 10th, and then the caucus then is that Monday, June 13th.
It's crazy. Anyway, a lot of opportunities to get involved in local government or certain things like that in Howard County. All right, last question is from Heidi on Facebook chat. So thanks for people putting in their questions in the chat today. What is the plan for safety for event goers for the summer events downtown? Haynes Apperson, summer concert series, etc. Will there be police presence at these events?
There's always police presence at these events. I mean, the EMA offers additional security as well, and so any of the events that do occur either in the park or downtown on the square, there's a few events on the square as well, does have police presence. Sometimes they even step it up, and the Howard County Sheriff's Department also supports a lot of the larger ones like the Haynes Apperson, and so as always, there's police presence and security provided not only by Kokomo Police Department and the Howard County Sheriff's Department, but our folks at Emergency Management Agency as well.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Awesome. So thanks for those questions for the Ask the Mayor segment.
Yes,
part
thank
of Lexi's Drink Barn. As always, it's good to get those questions. If you have any questions and you're watching this maybe after the show, leave them in the comments below. I'll go and scam them, and our skim through them?
Don't scam them.
I won't scam. I'm not a scammer. Or we always put out a post on Mondays when we film the show on normal weeks. We're asking those questions. So thanks for those questions. Thanks for Lexi's.
You betcha.
Got a dad joke for us?
I thought you already took care of that.
I mean, kind of.
It was a mini dad joke. It was.
Well, I mean, since Kokomo Beach is open, Porky Pig actually made it to the beach this weekend. Yeah, and got he got a little overheated, and somebody heard that. Yeah, he goes, "Yeah, I'm baking."
There it is. That's good.
I like that one.
That's good. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post. Shout out to Walls Furniture and Mattress here in Kokomo for being the partner for this show and all of our other great small businesses. Once again, shout out, we're giving away $100 in gas every week this summer. So go to thekokomopost.com/gas to be entered to that, as well as a giant Father's Day sweepstakes. That is thekokomopost.com/Father's-Day-2022. You're not going to remember that, but look at the chat for the link there. Yeah. There you go. Thanks for watching this episode. We will see you next time, Kokomo.
See you, Kokomo.